Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Oh, I'm over here. I'm not here. I'm here. Here I am, and there are you. Hello. Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing out there? The beautiful people, the beautiful people. You are beautiful people, and I love you guys out there. You know I do. I'll start that right off the bat. Let me get out of the way and just tell you how much I love you no matter what happens, and we can just go from here and be all finished with the show. That's right. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, hello and welcome. I'm going to be very calm today. I'm not upset, to be honest with you, but I didn't plan on talking about this topic today so much. I had something else in mind, and then something prompted me to it, which I'll get to in a moment. But of course, I first have to just kind of ramble on for a minute or so and say really meaningless things for whatever reason. That's just what I do. No, but seriously, hi and welcome to Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, if you've been here before, I appreciate it and I thank you. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. And I'm glad that you've taken the time to be here with me today. My name is Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home here in beautiful Florida. I'm going to have to come up with another adjective. This beautiful's getting crazy. But, you know, the truth is, and I say this all the time, I mean, things are beautiful. The world's beautiful. Even though the world's crazy, it really is beautiful, and there's beautiful things happening. And I think if we just think beautiful, there will be beautiful. That's what it's all about. So, and that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo, because this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And that's what we got to do. That's what you got to do. And, you know, it's a shame because, quite honestly, no matter what the state of the world is, we always should be kind of looking that way in a sense, right? As far as really getting to know ourselves and, you know, the world and whatever, being real with ourselves of, you know, what we like, what we don't like, what we want, what we don't want, you know, instead of, you know, the way our mainstream life is kind of orchestrated, you know, everything's a facade and a put on all the time, right? We're always just trying to, not be ostracized by society, you know, being able to fit in what's normal, you know, social cues or behaviors, you know, based on situations and all that, instead of just kind of letting life flow and, you know, from your heart and live as you were going to live, you know, type thing. So that's what we always try to encourage here on Operation Status Quo, is just a space, at least a starting point of realization that we have that power, and we don't have to, be slaves of this system if we choose to, work around it, whatever that means, and however it works for you, right? So, but today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 25th of October in the good year 2023, and today's program is entitled Shadowban Bandits. Yes, and I'm saying this because, and I want to start this off obviously because I've said this multiple times. And I want to make it clear, I don't think I don't think that I'm some big superstar in any kind of way that I should have 10 million views and all that type of stuff. And I talked about this a little bit. I guess it was last week when I really got upset when I noticed YouTube was for whatever reason, just my likes disappear, my views disappear, and stuff like that. And it happened again. The show I did yesterday, which wasn't even anything. I didn't even talk about anything political, or I didn't talk about the Satan worshiping elite. I didn't say anything. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. I always kind of do, so probably did. But either way, I think I had my humble little about 12 to 15 views, whatever it was, last night when I checked it out before I went to bed. And then of course when I get up today and take a look, it said no views. So this is the part that gets me, about this stuff, is that I can see if I was some sort of big name, that like Joe Rogan or somebody that everybody knows, and if he comes on and says something about Michelle Obama being a man, maybe he would get banned more, or they would shut him down. I really don't know. I mean, probably not. He probably would actually get more attention, and the message would get out better, if he did that. But anyway, long story short, I'm just saying, and this is really kind of a, I really don't have much to give as far as it's not like a deep, I really, I'm talking to you guys. I really want to know what the frig is going on. Maybe you're somebody that works, with social media a lot and such, and maybe you can tell me. But I'm going to just say a couple things. Like one, I notice I'm no expert with YouTube or anything like that, but I did an interview one time with someone who is a YouTuber. Matter of fact, Minnow Pond Tarot. You can look up his channel. That's Chris Reck, and he does a great job with, he pulls the cards and does the tarot readings and stuff. So anyway, I had him as a guest one time, and I remember talking to him and asking him about, how accurate the analytics are that you see on your videos on YouTube as far as the time watched and the people you reached and do. And he was like, oh yeah, it's accurate. It's accurate. I'm not criticizing him that it's not. I'm sure it is. It is if your channel gets watched, I guess. I really don't know. But I don't know. For me, I'm saying I even have videos I can go back and look and just say, I got everything from, whatever, 5 to 7 views on some up to over 100, on others. And I go back and I'll look through the analytics and such, and like they'll all show like 6 seconds watched, average watch time 6 seconds, and I don't see how that can be because I do have people that I know that watch, and I get feedback, and I know these people watch most of the episode, not every single one, but I'm just trying to say there's no way that the average can only be 6 seconds out of 127 views. It's just I don't even understand it. And then on top of it, like I say, I'll have likes, even myself, like, I'm able to like my own video on my channel, right? So I like it, I click like, and then it'll go back and say 0 likes. And I go, well, how can it possibly say 0 likes when I clicked like and it said 1 like, like how can it possibly be that it disappears and says no likes? And then the views. I've heard sometimes that I guess YouTube could take views away if I don't know if there weren't. It doesn't count as a view if you didn't watch it a certain amount. I really don't really know. And again, if you guys have information, I'd like to know. And more importantly, if you guys are someone, if you're out there and you regularly watch what I do, I really would like, some feedback in the comments, as far as like, what you see. I'd love to know, like, I know I have people that watch my show, right? And I'm just asking if from you guys, the few of you that are out there, like, does it pop up in your feed? Like, do you have the notification bell clicked? Does it pop up when I go live? Do you know that I went live? Does the videos, if you watch them regularly, do they show up in your feed? Because like for me, there's certain people that I watch on YouTube and their stuff, constantly kind of pops up in my feed. And then I'll notice all of a sudden they disappear, right? It's like, and I have to actually search them out to find their videos, whereas before they used to just pop up in my feed. And secondly, I have another YouTube channel that I don't use. I had set it up for my real estate, and I just planned on doing some stuff with that, but I never really did because you know how I talk about as much as I enjoy the real estate and having the license and all, I'm not that salesy kind of guy. I don't want to be known as like the real estate guy. I'm happy to help you. Reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box below. It's beautiful here in Florida. I'd love to help you out. But I'm not the the guy that you're going to see is face on the side of the bus, unless I had like a morning radio show or something. Then I wouldn't mind my face being on the side of the bus. But anyway, I don't want to be associated with the real estate too much because it is what it is. I'm sorry to digress into that. It's just, I don't know why. I feel like I have to justify it all. I always feel guilty for for being involved. But anyway. And I have that other channel, and I always go on that channel, and I'll watch my show back from that channel, just to get it into, that algorithm to see if it pops up. And I'll notice that, that's one of the only thing, I don't really use that channel for anything. I don't really watch much that pops up in that feed, but like this channel that you're watching now is something that I have in that feed. So I'll, go into that channel to see if it pops up. And the crazy thing is, it's like, if I go into that one, that's like the only one this channel you're watching now is the only one in my other channel that I actively search all the time and pull it up and blah, blah, blah. And it never shows up. it never shows up in the feed automatically of like, oh, new video. I always like have to search it out. Now, again, I'm not trying to be over the top here about am I shadow banned or whatever, because quite honestly, I don't even understand why I would be. I mean, I just feel like, what do I really talk about? I'm harmless. I do say all the stuff that, the conspiracy stuff or the, whatever crazy thoughts, ideas. But I mean, at the same time, what's the difference? We're just expressing, ideas. And that's really the gist of it. And, I'd like to know too, your experiences out there. Again, this is more for maybe like some recon, so I'm hoping like, please guys, like, hear what I'm saying and drop some comments in the comments and, let me know like your experiences with YouTube and stuff too. Like, for example, like even speaking, with the astrology stuff, like I said, and, the tarot card readers and different things that I would watch some of their videos. And there's people that would pop up in my feed all the time. And then all of a sudden I noticed, oh, I'm not seeing this person anymore. So I would search them out and like, oh, well, there they are. They're still there doing videos. How come I don't see them anymore? So, and I've heard multiple people on multiple channels. And again, it's not just like, crazy, right-wing extremist, people or with whatever the mainstream would be against, I guess. I mean, it's people doing astrology, people doing a couple different things. And they'll say, oh, my videos were getting views, but now all of a sudden, like they're not, whatever changes with the algorithm. I don't know what they do, is what I'm saying. Like, quite honestly, and for anybody who knows me, you guys, how I come on and try to speak, I mean, I'm open to everything, right? Why not just leave a space for people to share what they do? I feel that my videos aren't getting out there. Like, I really don't know. For everything I talk about and the people that watch and the amount of stuff that I put on, I'm doing a show every day, basically. Like, to me, I feel that it should just, I mean, just by blind luck, by accident, you have to do, something has to happen, right? Like, somewhere down the line, somebody has to find it, or, it has to get to some kind of viewers. And again, it's not about like, maybe I'm not that interesting or whatever. And that's all fine. And that all being said, all I really, really get upset about is when I see that I have a certain amount of views or I have a certain amount of likes, and then it just disappears. They just disappear. It's just like, listen, I only got 12 views. I mean, right. And I'm sure all those people didn't watch it all the way through. So, I mean, what's it hurting? I mean, that's why I really do feel like it's like psychological, like it's a psychological operation, right? Everything with this social media, you really think you're connecting with people, even with Twitter, they exposed how many of those accounts were actually kind of like bots and stuff. So you have to really wonder, what you're seeing on YouTube and all these social media platforms as far as like what's really, getting out there and how it's manipulated through artificial intelligence or whatever they're doing. Like, even when that thing happened with me with Facebook a couple weeks ago, when I was all pissed off about that and going on a tangent, like there's nobody to actually talk to. And I said that in my show when I did it. It basically was like, an algorithm that runs a program that finds stuff. And, they're coming. Facebook came after me for a post that I made 3 years ago, for goodness sake, over 3 years ago, So it just doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't resonate. I don't understand, and, it's frustrating in a sense too, just because, you feel like you're trying to, build something. Again, this is not monetized. I'm not asking for donations. I'm just a guy having some fun, coming on. I talk about a lot of different type of things. Sometimes it's a little heavy on this way. Sometimes it's a little light another way. But it's just me. And that, it's just really like a show. I mean, it's just like any other show you would watch. I know some people are, hardcore with the, especially the truth community and all, like hardcore with wanting to get stuff out and exposing the evil of the world. And, I'm all about it. And I talk about it and I agree with it, But, I also come from the other side of trying to say, no matter what, we have to remember to, not get too attached to that either, right? To always have space to, just be centered and, let life do what it's supposed to do, because, there's bigger things at play. Do I feel that there are, whatever the case may be, a group of people, families, I don't know, whoever's in charge, these unknowns, aliens, who the frig knows, that are manipulating our day-to-day life. I mean, don't you think? Let me ask it to you. I mean, instead of me just saying, this is what's going. You look at your life every day. You see what's going on in the world every day. Do you really feel that this is the way humanity operates? Naturally, in a way. Like, don't you think? Do you see the possibility for some sort of intervention involved here to, kind of lead people off path? Or I don't know. I'm just so perplexed over the idea of being, this like, people laugh at me when I say I'm Shadowban. They just tease me, or, some people, they'll be like, oh, you're not Shadowban. You're not important. You suck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I agree. I agree. I'm not going to agree, because I agree in the sense of I don't think I'm not some super ego that thinks that I'm in charge of the world or anything. But I don't think I suck, number one, and I don't think I don't have anything worthy to offer. At the very least, this place really could be a place. What I talk about all the time of wanting to have other people on and let people share their thoughts and ideas. My goal ultimately is to have more participation by the audience out there. I'd love to see this chat, when I'm here live. I'd love to see the chat rolling, and I would, be happy to engage with people and let them ask questions, and let's just have conversation. What's on your mind today? What do you think about the world today? And how can we create space to, be better, be happy? I honestly feel like I'm trying to send, positive messages. It's not self-serving in any way that I see overall. Although, I don't know, maybe is it? Is it self-serving? I don't know. Like, I feel like, in my heart, I like to be an entertainer. It's just in all facets of my life. Entertainer is not like I got to put on a show every time, but even when I meet people, I want to be friendly. I want to talk. I want to get to know them. I want to let them feel that they have a space to express themselves and be honest and open. And that's what this space is. And I do it for myself. When I come on here, it's like I'm just talking, right? So I'm just being open and honest, who I am, expressing ideas, things I've seen, learned, and how things resonate with me. And I like to give space to people to because the world's a heavy place, right? And people are going through a lot of struggles. And isn't it nice maybe to have somebody that comes on and with a smile and tries to share a friendly message in a way of no matter what's going on, at least trying to encourage people to say, listen, you don't have to get so serious about all this stuff that they're showing on TV. It's a fear campaign, and even if you don't believe that, you still can take the positive away from it, to be like, you know what, whether it's a fear campaign or whether it's real or whatever it may be, I still have the choice and the power within myself to choose how I'm going to go about my day-to-day, how I'm going to interact with the information that comes my way, so on and so forth. So I don't know. That's what I just don't understand, when I see how it just doesn't make sense to me how it can possibly be. And I'm thinking, like, come on, YouTube. Like, why are you picking on me, for God's sake? You got bigger fish to fry out there. Truthfully, if I was that bad, they just could delete my account, and that would be that. So I don't get it, And then I see this again today, 12 views down to no views, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. And honestly, I'm going to keep doing this either way. They're not going to break me down to that I would stop. So I'm just saying this out to you as the audience, is to really think about what you're seeing out there and how what's being allowed. Sometimes even when I watch the stuff that I agree with, I'm wondering, like, how do they get away with saying all this kind of stuff, and how come they're not banned? Although I do know people used to follow used to follow Dave Snedeker for a while, when he was doing his shows on YouTube and such, and he got pulled down multiple times. He had, his Facebook got shut down, multiple YouTube channels, and he was always going through the Q drops and, talking about everything, and, especially January 6th and, all those type of things, and I don't know. I it's just so crazy to me that, how divisive everything is in our our social world, our political world. I mean, it's just so crazy, and no one wants to hear the other side of anything. And if and even if messages as simple as I am in certain ways, it pisses people off, I guess. I really don't know. So I would love your feedback out there. What do you notice with the channels that you watch? What do you notice with this channel? As far as do the videos populate into your feed? Do you know, or do you have to search it out to see if I did a show today or didn't do a show today? So I'm just curious. So I would appreciate your comments, and I also really appreciate, guys, if you're out there and you're somebody watching, just let's help it out. If you appreciate what I'm saying, or you like the messages, or you enjoy that I'm here, click click subscribe, share it out with other people. And I know it's not a big deal. I don't expect people to be hanging on every word I say. And again, to go back to what I said before, quite honestly, I would like to expand this into letting other people speak more than me. Because for goodness sake, who wants to hear me go on and on all the time, saying the same crap? But I'm always trying to give positive messages, that's all. Heyo. That's kind of like the gist of what I have here today. The Shadowban Bandits, because they're out there, and it's I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I'm an innocent, humble, YouTube is cool. To me, from growing up, if I had this kind of technology, when I was earlier age, in my teens and early 20s, I would have, I would have definitely been doing, a show. I know it, and then by the time it all came out, I was into another part of life. I never even really thought about it so much, but what a blessing just to have the technology this way, that I can sit here and set up a little camera and microphone, and and a little nobody like me can be a somebody out there having a show and trying to share information with people. So hey, I'm open to suggestions of maybe stuff about YouTube a little bit better, and how to get things seen a little more. I don't know. It's not even that. I don't even care. It's just I don't understand. I don't understand. And, these platforms, and, it really gets me too, just to say finally, I guess the biggest thing about it all is that, they just don't want certain messages out there, and, I'm not saying anything over the top negative. I do. Yeah, I say Joe Biden's a clone. I talk about, the adrenochrome and the all that crap and the human trafficking, and I don't know, I'm not there. All I know is this, it's all new to me too, in a way. I grew up just a pawn in the system, like everybody else out there running around living life. And then all of a sudden you start to realize we're just in this maze, and everything's kind of constructed around us. And then they think you have all this freedom and ways of expression, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to talk about what I believe. But really it's all controlled, and hey, my videos could be there, but no one's ever going to see them. It's just I don't know. It's just a weird dynamic, and to me, it proves even more that this kind of stuff is going on in the world. Because why else would what's the difference? They worry about disinformation or all this kind of stuff. Come on, guys. People have we all have the ability to do research on our own, and even more so than research, because I talk about just that I feel things, and I'm just saying, you can just feel in your heart what's true. If you go outside and you start walking down a street, and you get a vibe maybe from this creepo that's walking behind you or coming across towards you. You sometimes you just get a vibe, and that this isn't right. So that's really kind of what it is. What do you feel in your everyday life? You see what's going on out there. I just kind of feel like things aren't right, and this is just another example of it. But I'm not going to harp on this any longer. I've said it before. I did a show a little bit about it last week, and I just really wanted to touch on it today because I just find it to be an interesting dynamic, that it even goes on. Unless you're coming on YouTube and sending messages of, blatant terroristic threats or hate. I don't, all speech, really, freedom of speech. But if you're coming on making threats towards fellow human beings, like I'm going to kill so-and-so or something or other. If you're or encouraging people to do that, isn't that what the Democrats do though? Don't they encourage people to go out and cause chaos? And then they, a bunch of them say to go kill Trump and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that's okay, but me talking talking about whatever I talk about, for my 12 views, I'm a big jerk, So let's be mindful out there. And, not just me, but whoever you support on YouTube or any of those platforms, people that are sending messages that that resonate with you and you appreciate, you support those people, click like on their channels and share their videos if they're meaningful to you or whatever, and help, the communities, to build, because I'm not sure what it takes for it to happen. But I think, we have to, continue to push forward to let our voices be heard. And it's not about being right or whatever. It's not even about, it's just about, like, everybody deserves to be who they are and let their voice be heard. We don't deserve to be slaves of a system where we're running 24/7, that we don't even have time to breathe, So, I mean, and now they create all these wars all over the place. Everybody's like scared to death of, what's going to happen tomorrow, I mean, it's insanity. And then they worry about banning me, or taking away my 12 little views. So please, ladies and gentlemen, support the people that you care about on social media. It doesn't have to be me, but just be mindful of it. You know what I mean? And please leave your comments and let me know what you think about what I'm talking about today. So anyway, just keep looking for me. If you don't see, just go to my page. I'm here. You'll know. If I decide really to leave, I probably, would make at least a little video to say I'm taking a break or something like that, but or something catastrophic happened. I was, kidnapped or something like that. So you'll know. All right. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. And if you haven't done so, why not? Like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. God bless you out there. And until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.